you think?
Oh my gosh. Well, if I tell you, this is part of the Alegria story. What I did was, wow, I was like, I'm not going to get a paycheck anymore every Friday, which is very, like to this day, I say as an entrepreneur, you're like, that would be great. A check, like you know exactly when it goes into your account or direct deposit, right? As an entrepreneur, it's not always like that. And what I did was I had a friend in Hollywood who was like a struggling artist, and I knew he needed
Many of them.
Many of them.
Most of Hollywood, actually.
I was one of them. So I said, listen, can I, like, if you rent me your couch, I can pay half of your rent. And so I did all these like adjustments. I literally like rented his couch for $400, and I had a computer, which like an Apple computer that's like an amazing tool, for writing and designing, and that was it. So that first year was sleeping on the couch. And
but the first night.
Okay, the first night was probably there with my friend eating like $1 chicken sandwiches.
Were you scared?
No. You know what I mean? I think I just didn't have time to be scared because I got this opportunity, and I was ready for it.
When do you find success? When do you think, oh my goodness, finally I made it? Do you have that feeling or still looking for it?
There are moments I have felt that because I love this, something I read somewhere that says if you should like measure success from where you came from to where you are now. And if I really analyze everything that I've overcome to be where I am today, it's completely a blessing and a success. But of course, there is so much I still want to do. But I'm grateful for where I am.
Tell me about a main failure that you had that probably was so important that actually at the end was a good experience. So a failure that really marked your life in business. I'm not talking personal.
Okay, perfect. I feel that sometimes I've done events that I maybe wasn't aware how big or logistically how involved they were, and I got feedback how some things didn't work. But all of these things are so important to get feedback because you can have the best intention, but how it translates is so important. So I feel that as an entrepreneur, it's been amazing every time I'm able to get direct feedback from people, even though you can see that as maybe something didn't work or it was a failure, because you got to be open to listening from your community and from what you create. When you create, if you don't want to fail, just don't create anything. But if you want to create, you're always going to be open, have to be open to failure, And I feel that I'm a creator, so I'm going to have to keep being open for failure.
So that's a mandate in your life. You need to be creative.
Absolutely.
I mean, otherwise, like, you are dead.
That's it.
So you are following actually who you really are.
Absolutely.
And that's your passion.
Creating.
And that's how you become yourself.
Yes.
And that's how you feel that as a human being, you are being alive.
Absolutely. If I don't create, I don't feel alive. I always have to have something I'm doing. Either I'm writing my own book and creating with friends. I'm doing something different with my company. It's part of who I am.
What would be your best advice to new entrepreneurs or people that really want to become entrepreneurs?
Well, first, you gotta find, and I love, this is my favorite word, alegria. What brings you joy in life? I think once you realize that, like my latest book, Finding My Alegria, I talk about this. What is something that brings you joy? Once you are able to tackle that, then you slowly start making adjustments towards that. And I say slowly because I did a certain way that was unconventional and maybe painful, but I also, like I said, I'm pragmatic. If I would do it again, I would tell don't just drop your regular job and go and live like I did, and go through all these hard times. No, maybe slowly have like a plan, and you can still have your 9 to 5, but after 5, you're working on that project, on that passion project or that business plan. But you got to discipline yourself, and it's hard because I understand when you leave a job that you don't like and you come home at 5, you're tired, but you got to reset and you're going to have to dedicate some hours until you're ready. And you got to save and you got to have a plan. So it's not so crushing when it happens,
Right.
Yeah.
So it's not like follow your passion and jump.
Yeah, I think at this age, maybe I'm just getting older. When I was younger, I jumped, and I suffered the consequences, but now I'm getting older, so if I had to give this advice to someone I love or a younger woman or man that is trying to go for their dreams and be an entrepreneur, I would say do it slowly, planned, and really don't just like put all your eggs in one basket and just suffer. And no, you don't want that, because I've discovered something, and is that when you're peaceful and when you're stable, you're able to create better. At least for me. So when you're like figuring it out, how you're gonna like, oh my God, I don't have enough to eat or to eat, that also will affect your productivity. So
yeah, very interesting. So you are working actually with the Alegria brand,
yes,
which means a lot.
A lot.
How do you face sadness? How do you handle sad moments? Because everybody has sad moments.
Oh my gosh, plenty of, just the world we live in. There is a lot of sad things happening daily nowadays. But I think you're able to, or I'm able to transform that sadness to creation through art. And I think that that's the way I always dealt with all the sad things in my life or challenges, is being transforming darkness and hardship into something beautiful like art.
That's awesome. So the idea is that you work 9 to 5, and then at 6 or 7, you start working in your own dreams, your own projects. So it's gradual. Eventually, that second concept or venture that you want to launch, eventually is going to take cover.
Yeah, I believe so. And when I say after your regular job, take a shower and go out and network, research, whatever it's your field of interest. There is like many, especially in a city like Los Angeles, many industry events for all different fields. So network, because, at home, trust me, the big opportunities are tough to come to your door,
Right.
You got to meet people.
You're going to talk to your cat.
Yeah, no.
It's not going to be feedback, a lot of feedback.
Yeah, and this city has that advantage. We are, there's so many fascinating people from all different cultures and so many opportunities to connect, and you never know, from those connections springs so much opportunity.
Who is a person or figure beyond your family that has the most influence in your life?
Like a celebrity or?
Yeah, some figure, some other human being that you actually say, wow, that person really inspires me.
Yes, well, if you ask me right now, I can tell you, but there was something that happened to me when I was very young, when I opened this book that said people that change the world. And it really made an impact in my life. I always felt like I wanted to be one of those people. And in this book, mostly it was men, and I always think about all the women that through history have not been able to really realize their full potential. And I admire women that, like Michelle Obama, a lot. She's so inspirational and doing social good and living your dreams. That combination sounds very amazing to me. So that's a woman that inspires me today.
So if you got the chance to be in front of Michelle Obama, what would you ask her?
Oh, I would love to partner with her with so many things she does. She works a lot with teens, and I definitely would love to partner up with her and work on mental health awareness for teens and schools. I
No
would love that.
questions.
No questions. Let's
Just
work together. What can I
action.
do for you? How can I just do something with you and collaborate?
So you have a habit or some special practice or that you do regularly that helps in your business?
Yeah.
Or to you who you are at this point?
Yes. At this point, over a year ago, I started doing yoga and meditation. It's truly changed my life. I wish I had these tools when
How?
it's changed my life in so many ways. You're able to have such better clarity in your mind, be more peaceful, live more in the present. And I feel it also makes you a better listener, connect with people. I've always been a connector, and I feel to be able to really feel empathy and compassion and connection with people is something that is not only good spiritually, but for business. When you have genuine connections and relationships with people, and you really have a love for people, that really translates into business and, of course, into your whole well-being. And I feel this has helped me even more to heighten this.
Interesting. Do you meditate 5-10 minutes a day, several hours? How do you do it?
I try to do at least 15 to 20 minutes of meditation, and meditation can come in different forms, which is the fun part. Most people, which is also an invitation. It doesn't have to be only sitting there. For some people, meditation is singing or dancing or so many things. And I do, meditation, but there's also a special type of meditation through music that I do.
So you listen to music and you meditate?
Yes. This is like an Indian type of it's called kirtan type of music, yes.
Okay, so you sit in a place, in a particular position and listen to the music, close your eyes.
Yes, and set kind of your intentions for the day, for the week. Really also scan your body. I do this type of yoga that's called yin yoga. It's more of a stretching type of yoga, not so much like a fitness, trendy type of yoga. And it really makes you aware of like your whole body and how you're feeling and just being, it resets your day.
Do you read?
A lot.
Like? What kind of books?
Depending on my mood, but mostly at this point in my life, I love business books and spiritual self-help books.
It is interesting that you say that after meditation, you notice that you are a better businesswoman in a different way. You said it in a different word because empathy, being able to communicate with others, even in the middle of a negotiation or a transaction, is so important. Because I always say that the best deals start in the heart and then go to the brain. If you just start with the brain, it's going to be tough because the brain doesn't have feelings. The brain is only calculations, numbers, back and forth. But if you are able to develop that empathy or that sensation of communication, human relation with the other person, probably your negotiation results are going to be much better. Are you agree?
Yes, because at the end of the day, no matter who you're in front of, they're human beings with emotions and needs. And if you're able to be connected and in tune with people, seeing them as people going through different experiences, absolutely. You're able to connect and bond with people. And I think that the best and most lasting business relationships come from these bonds. I can say that a lot of the business relationships I had from the beginning are the ones that I have now. And it's a very essential part of business, relationships.
So if you have a billboard in the most popular part of town, what message would you put on it, right? Or put, except your brand, of course.
Okay, so I cannot put Alegria,
No.
which I love so much, that word.
Absolutely. Or you can use happiness,
No, I like Alegria. I don't know why, but I would say inspire, connect, and make a difference.
Again?
Inspire, connect, and make a difference.
That's very interesting. And, I want to ask you this. What's the first thought it comes to your mind after reading this phrase by Seneca, the Roman philosopher? Life is long if you know how to use it. First thing that comes to your mind.
Yes,